Welcome everyone. Today we're going to do a foil rose card. We're in the downloaded version of Canvas Workspace. So go up to the top left, the file and import from your computer and choose the file that we're going to use. There's a free file, like this free file is in my resource library. And then go over to the left here, and if it's not already popped out, this is the icon you would use, and you pop out shapes and all the other features. If you've got embossing and that installed, they'll all show up there. We're going down to the foiling one and choose the rose. And we'll go over, we want to flip our rose. So we're going into the edit and flip. And if you click the wrong object, don't panic, just unclick it and have another go. Move it over. I started with the peak area, pop the rose in and then stretch it out using the handles. If you use the corner handle, you'll get an even enlargement of the design. If you use the edge on the flat, straight or horizontal, you'll stretch the design. We're actually going to stretch it a little bit so it fits in the card, and you stretch it at the top too, just like that. And we might actually even shrink it a little bit. Just click away and grab your object again. Get a little bit narrower perhaps, just to give us a little bit more room for the sentiment on the side. I'm going to pop a sentiment in there. That's about how we'd like it, I think. And scroll down, look for a sentiment. I've chosen the happy birthday one. Shrink it down to the size that you would like. And once again, if you've clicked too much, just click away and grab the object that you want and just drag it across and pop it where you would like it. So we've just moved it to the right of the dashed line. You'll see that, might be able to see the dashed line is in the file there, and I've popped it to the right of that. On the menu bar there is a magnifying glass. If you click on that, it will, and hover over where you want to magnify, it will increase the size so you can get it more precise. I like to group my files as they go to the Scanncut, so that when you move them on the Scanncut, they move as one and you don't have to jiggle them together again, basically. Now I'm just going to send this piece to the Scanncut. So the square down the bottom we're going to hide. So click on it so it's highlighted, go into the layers panel, and it should be sitting right at the very bottom. These are all the pieces of that rose that have been pulled in. They're all grouped and they're actually all in one group, and there's the square down the bottom. You can see it's highlighted, and on the mat it's highlighted as well. The eye icon will hide that, and once it's hidden it will not be sent in the same pass over to your Scanncut. So export your file, and it's giving you a warning to say that it's hidden and it won't be sent. And this is what you'll be presented with. You get a choice of, the top one will send it to USB, second one will send it via internet, and the third one at the bottom is via cable. Confirmation message, and here we are at our Scanncut. So retrieve data, just there, retrieve, choose the method that you sent it. I've chosen the internet, and here it is retrieving it. So after it's brought it in, it will bring it in exactly the same position that you sent it from Canvas. I'm going to scan my mat. I've put the card, white card, on my mat ready for this, and just scan the location of the card. And as you can see, you can't see it very well. If you click on the tools icon, you've got a choice of changing the background color. It's not much better with the other one for this particular one. That's okay, because I can see that I've put tape to hold the card down a little bit, and you can just move. I'm using the tape as a bit of a guide. And go OK when you're happy with the placement. Then please select, so I'm going to foil glue, because that's our first step of our foiling process. So you've got a scale of the glue pen. This is what the glue pen will look like. You can see I'm down in the number 2 section, so I'm going to change that 1 to number 2. Just click the little arrow, there. You can see it's changed to 2, which looks a bit like what it does in real life as well. It does give you instructions there, so you can read the instructions. And this is the glue pen holder. So it's a bit difficult with the camera, but basically you press that in and push it down, pops out the bottom until it clicks. Make sure it goes in as far as it will go, and then pop it into your carriage holder on your machine. It's the same carriage holder that you put your knife or your drawing tools and that. Press start and off it goes. So what it's going to do is it's going to put some glue on your piece of card in the shape of the rose. And it's really hard to see that it is actually gluing, and I've sped this up for you, but I've filmed it so you can see that it's actually hard to see that it's gluing. Before I start, I normally just check that the glue pen is actually releasing glue. I have done a whole session of gluing a design to find out that it wasn't actually releasing any glue. So just give it a little bit on a bit of scrap paper, just to make sure you can see the glue's coming out, and then pop it into your machine. So when it's finished, wait for the glue to dry. It will give you some instructions. Go and have a cup of coffee perhaps. Then pop the foil over your glued area. You can cut up the foil that comes with your brother into a shape that will fit your area. Also add the blue sheet that's provided in the kit over the foil and tape that down with tape. And the same tool that you put your glue pen in, you pop this little balled end piece, they give you 2 of them in the kit, into the bottom and pop it into your carriage holder. And please select, and we're going to the second part of this, so we're going to foil this time, and it will give you some instructions. You can see it shows you how to put it into the holder, and we'll go OK. And that's the area that's going to be foiled. Basically what it's going to do is just run over and over and over that foil, pressing it onto the glued area until it's stuck. So you can see I'll sped this up a little bit in a second too. So here we go, that's a bit better. I don't want to sit there forever watching it. So it's just going over and over and over, making sure that every speck of the foil will stick to the glued area of the design. And as it gets near the end, the next step, what we'll do is we will take that blue covering. You can see the blue covering is just protecting the foil. We'll take that blue covering off. I've stuck that down with masking tape as well. Take it off, and you can see the red foil, and then we'll peel it up. Carefully peel it up, and there's our design. Looks very pretty, doesn't it? It's not a bit hard to show you how shiny it is. So the next step is to cut it out. So we're going to choose cut, and there's the design that we're going to cut. And we pop I've used the black topped holder, black top blade to put in the holder. And when you've got it ready, you just press start and off we go again. It just cuts it out around the edge, and you can see we've got the shape of the rose there and also the dashed lines. Now if you don't want the dashed lines, you can edit that in Canvas Workspace and do a score line or use your scoreboard. Now I'm going to pop this off while it's still on the mat just because of the camera. I'd recommend taking the mat out of your machine and flipping it upside down and peeling it that way, a bit more careful. What you'll find is it's very stuck because of the foiling process. Okay, so we don't want to cut that again, we want to cut this bottom piece. So if we collapse the grouped areas. It'll make it much easier to manage and to see what I'm actually doing. So just go up and collapse everything that's come in opened. You can see that there's 3 grouped items under a main grouped item. Now you can actually hide them with the little eye. You can see them disappearing as I'm clicking the eye off and on. We're going to do it as one whole piece because that's much easier to do the whole group, and there it's all gone. And the same process, we'll go over to File and export to your machine. That's the warning, just to say that there's some hidden files and they won't be sent, which is exactly what we want. Transfer via internet. And there's our successful message. Join me at createwithsue.com for more tutorials.